understand.
Now that's make we bring come to you the Today Show. We get segments where they range from interviews on the big issues.
Sierra Leone authorities said Monday that 20 people were killed and nearly 2,000 prisoners escaped during Sunday's attack on the capital.
To sport.
What a fairy tale story here. There they are, the champions of the...
It's another working day, Tuesday precisely, here in the year of our Lord, the day, one of the few days in the month of June. Today is supposed to be the 10th. It is the 10th day in June 2025. And then somebody just comment say, Salone, the long rainy season is just about to kickstart with some drama series where kind of Salone they compete now with Netflix in terms of things where they happen. If that is the case, then let's start to unravel some of those things where kind of people they consider for the drama, electricity being one of the latest that they consider for be part of the series. Because just few hours ago, the Ministry of Energy announced to we say, let's brace up for some load shedding. So side also if they get lights for like one full day, you might not get them for that one full day again for some time. We'll get to unravel how that plays out in a short while. But quickly, first, we remind you of a motivational message here. They say electricity is the fundamental enabler of modern life. It powers innovation, connects communities, and drives economic growth. Without it, progress stalls and opportunities dim. I'll go over that again for you. It says electricity is the fundamental enabler of modern life. It powers innovation. Underline those words. Connects communities and drives economic growth. Without it, progress stalls and opportunities dim. I'll give you a typical example. There are communities where before they get electricity, they were kind of clustered. That means so backward. But the moment electricity reach them, the community starts to expand. Electricity and road, more or less, now two necessities or two amenities where they expand and grow communities and people and economic livelihoods as well. So now in fact the mayor of Freetown City Council, Yvonne Akisoya, just few hours ago, just about an hour ago, just before this program started, they count the costs where the electricity can become part of the load shedding aspect of EDSA, how much it will get for custom for run the administrative building, where they house a number of other offices, now Wallace Johnson Street. We'll get into the conversation shortly. We'll talk to a journalist on this subject matter, and we talk to a state official on the subject matter itself. We're already the boil and the brewing with some diverse opinions and discussions in most quarters after the break.
Make them bounce, don't say kung fu na skits. The bubble fi me na me bathroom me teeth. Just this hour for rap when I dance group me feet. And all the pili pot like what the penny pan. So the best thing for do sticky at the spit.
Let's tip on me mods like Chingoma Kicham. Blaze like fire, I warm like a wire. Me punch like quick for shop and blood not a tire. Babona for balance cause I warm like a tiger. It's the body chummy bone, I no go tire. I like it. Now back in the days, Zikaro be the make name. I be the first for the fame, and see be the make way. Shout out to my says I they give me top.
I can't stand and man and begin I take a like a
first fever monkey. You just a left much like could I just left Bobby.
So I don't make me plan, and then you want make you way. I don't sharp the cutlass, so make a cut aim.
But take your life, you don't play your role. I give you small chance, you don't play your role. I can't let amounts for can't take your soul.
I don't want to let you play correctly to the man.
Man them. This na boys. Usai man and they put all thing at table. From Pantap, till good Inside boys, we know they hide behind with shadow at all. We real and this them na all but we.
Every woman first, let me start that, always they look for a successful man. So likewise, majority of the men also they look for a successful woman.
We can't talk about we hustle and we dey fair money.
When you like somebody, you first of all get for take care of whatever you like. Make them a priority.
We relationship and waiting people they expect from we man them.
You know, women are more emotional than men. If you start them, where you enjoy them, you go they come.
This not a side where we just they can't talk. This na brotherhood. Na side for let you see and feel waiting they really mean for me boy picky.
Sex is intimacy.
This na boys. So come na the bar, grab a chair, buy a drink, let we talk, chill and vibe. Cause this na boys who side where they shake the table.
Welcome back. When you scroll through the internet, you will realize that just about 24 hours ago, before the commencement of this program, well, in essence, on Monday, when I be the 9th of June this year, if you don't scroll through the internet, even if you don't see some official sites them yet, you don't scroll through the internet, WhatsApp, Facebook, X, Instagram and other sites or social media handles, and we don't come across this press release from the Ministry of Energy. We clearly they tell we say we go begin expect load shedding of the electricity we they get starting June 12th. When I like 2 days from the program we do so, 2 days from today. Like go through quickly the press release will come out from the ministry here. It say the Ministry of Energy wish for the attention of the general public to developments between government of Salone through the Ministry of Energy and partnership. The public, they say we will inform the public, say during the past months, the Ministry of Energy where the sector lead, Dr. Kande Yumkela, the lead, been there in conversation with, and negotiation with partnership with the view for letting them agree for an extension of the existing contract way for be a period not for exceed more than 1 year. So the ministry further wish for inform the public say during this course of the negotiation, then receive a disconnection notice from the partnership management on May 8, 2025. We already clearly state say Kappa ship go cease supply of electricity to Freetown effective midnight of June 12, when 2 days from today, June 12, on account of payment owed to them where government of Salone owe Kappa ship. So they say despite this disconnection, Kappa ship don't make, the government don't negotiate with them for let them maintain 6 megawatt supply of electricity for essential service them, particularly like the hospital, so at least during this period. Notwithstanding that development, however, the ministry say they will like for assure the public say, particularly people already in Freetown, who in Freetown here because we Kappa ship the supply light more or less, that they don't take step them for on the instruction of President Bio for help for cushion the impact where this go get for cause for the supply of electricity in Freetown. And further assure citizens and say we within Freetown here where they get light from Kappa ship say necessary action they don't take for ensure say we get reliable, affordable and accessible power supply to Freetown. The line the way you say president in vision. But when you go to the other paragraph below, it says, finally, while the ministry regrets to announce this year so, they say, let we expect load shedding. And then we assure people and say, this time around, the load shedding, they're under proper management. So, this came not too long after the Director of Communications, Strategic Communications in the State House, Mike Brewer, posted this one. He said car powership will cut off electricity to Freetown from midnight of June 12, 2025 due to unpaid bills. It was blunt and clear. This I died by Bayo and Belbel Padis. Unpaid bills will face some fair load shedding for a few weeks. We will therefore cross-check that with them shortly. We will face some fair load shedding for a few weeks. Be rest assured, government of Sierra Leone, GOSL, is actively seeking a sustainable solution. Then I'm waiting and say. But let me go quickly back in time. A couple of months down the line, that was in April, precisely 26th April, the Ministry of Finance put out a statement, a press release, which said and say, them pay certain amounts to certain independent power producers, like Transco CLSG, that now the power way they come on Ivory Coast through Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. They say they don't pay car powership. One was $17 million. $17 million as outstanding payment to them, he gets to them. And being get some negotiations so then still be there on. That was in April. Check the date, the press release came out. And then say they don't pay $1.5 million to Transco CLSG. Then are the lights where they come out from Ivory Coast through Liberia and Guinea to Salone. For ensure say we continue to get power through Ivory Coast. And say the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Energy, and EDSA, they further engage with the respective independent power producers and what they call IPPs for negotiate the current contract. Where as a result, car powership they say that they shut down by February, June 12th, midnight. So all these don't come now, and Sierra Leoneans are left in kind of doubt and begin to ask question. How long this go for day for? Waiting this go for costly. Already the mayor of Freetown City Council, Yvonne Akisoya, don't begin count the cost already. In fact, it take to official handles. Facebook, for example, they say very concerned about the impact of power cuts, about the impact the power cuts will have on Freetonians. Very concerned. Families and businesses. Keeping the lights and lifts on the city hall will require 1,500 liters of fuel, diesel particularly, will cost them 41,100 leons, so now 41,100,000 leons, or leons per day. So now that will cost them for one, then generator plants away then get the Freetown City Administrative Building, where they will cost like 1,500 liters, beg your pardon. They say the money they also then suppose they use them for do other service delivery them for people in a Freetown. So a number of people also don't comment on this situation already. But the question where many Sierra Leoneans, particularly in a Freetown, where they get supply from car powership. Remember, this is a makeshift arrangement where been started under the Ernest Bai Koroma administration, and Julius Maada Bio administration come and continue that trajectory there, because the ministry and say they were able to utilize them small more, while they try to get some permanent solutions to your own electricity problem at the country. But how we don't get on to this level so far? Shortly, we will talk to Mike Brewer, Director of Communications, State House, for speak on behalf of government in this regard. But I will first talk to Thomas Josephus Dixon, when I am a journalist. Dixon, good afternoon and welcome to the Today Show, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, with the trend where they see the unravel, and people already say they compare Sierra Leone in issues as drama, where comparatively they don't say now only them and Netflix they compete now. Firstly, from a perspective of Usa Uday and what you know so far, What's not lead we to this we will face so?
Well, I think say this an issue we get to do with disagreement between government of Sierra Leone and representative of car power ship. And I think say the disagreement primarily based on government of Sierra Leone owing car power ship over $60 million. And the fact that government of Sierra Leone for just give car power ship 1 year contract more, and car power ship is demanding 5 years contract. So that's where you have the disagreement. And there have been payment plan for car power ship, but government of Sierra Leone, they honor the side of the promise. If they tell car power ship, say we have to pay you, will they pay you every 6 months, so we pay you $10 million. Government of Sierra Leone will not honor, and sometimes they even go about for my investigation and give check way money no dey. So I think say that is the crux of the problem with government of Sierra Leone get with car power ship. But before that, the World Bank reports on Sierra Leone did not advise the government of Sierra Leone say maintaining the current electricity bills is not sustainable. It will lead to a crash of the country economy. Meaning, if we continue to rely upon car power ship for giving supply of electricity, then we are getting some serious problem with the economy. And even the government may recognize, say they may overspend on usually on roads and energy in the last quarter of last year, will lead to a suspension of review program in April. We're expecting World Bank for come back this June for kind review. So it's about payment of debt and giving contracts to car power ship.
So with this trend we see, so more or less, government will tell you say, and we have seen the Ernest Bai Koroma administration bring in car power ship more or less as a makeshift arrangement while the travel gets in-house or national ownership of our own electricity generation system. Bumuna was there, we're supposed to generate 50 megawatts at peak during the rainy season, yet we still need to harness that. Periodically, we see a decline in terms of the output mechanism. And we still rely on external sources where kind of makeshift till date. And just a couple of years ago, the people were promised like the Transco CLSG can be the kind of solution or backup to Bumuna. Unfortunately, Transco CLSG not provide that kind of alternative day to whatever source of energy. So more or less internally, you think the two administrations have been honest in terms of addressing this problem?
Pardon, come again.
You think the two administrations, the Ernest Bai Koroma administration, Ernest Bai Koroma APC administration, and the Julius Maada BUSLPP administration have been fair enough and just to address this problem of electricity?
Well, I think say the two administrations both administrations not take electricity seriously. Ernest Bai Koroma administration starts with an emergency income electric power deal. They may promise, the Ernest Koroma administration may promise for complete Bumbuna. And if you know, the Sierra Leonean populace get to understand, say Bumbuna na two-phase deal. They only completed phase 1 of Bumbuna. And phase 2 for just help Bumbuna way, like for example, the guys were able to help Bumbuna for giving electricity to the guys. It's up till now, it's incompleted. And Ernest Koroma administration ended up with another emergency power supply we bring about car power ship. So, and car power ship, the government of Julius Maada Bio they continue with without any sustainable measure for can solve electricity problem. About electricity in our country, we also know say World Bank been done do it in and call unbundling the electricity sector. we are in we get EDSA when I be MPH, they only responsible for distribution and supply of electricity. Meaning you have international power providers, which they call IPP. When they then for provide, you get power providers there when they like a car power sheet, government go and buy to them. Like a Bumbuna. Bumbuna is now a company on its own. Where government they can sell to governments, they can use this CRSG project from Ivory Coast and buy. And I made for understand say there is some measure being taken for us for buy electricity supply also from Senegal. So the unbundling process may make them provision. We also get EGTC when electricity generation transmission we then take over the Kington Power Station, Black Hole Road Power Station, and then the operator. So and then they sell electricity supply to EDSA. So that is how the situation is. But when you look at both government, in terms of electricity, you will say we've not done so much. Electricity has been the sector who don't deprive, who don't neglect at this country. That is why our economy is in a terrible situation, because electricity they drive the economy. People get electricity. I remember when an Escoma came in 2007. Before 2007, Sierra Leone was Peter was the darkest city. But when he bring on income electric, we begin to get light. We begin to get light, and people begin to do businesses. Local businesses, people are making a fridge and begin to sell ginger beer, water. They thrive. People are begin to able to buy things. So that is what electricity will do. If we have serious electricity in our country, that is what it will be to unlock the economic potential of this country.
Okay. In fact, even the man who lead this sector, Dr. Kande Yumkela, we don't acknowledge, say, in fact, Salon get already take for generate your electricity. Quite recently, he was speaking in a government engagement where they count the cost and break down waiting at some of the potentials where Salon get. Let's just take a few seconds and just listen to some of those things he said.
God give we boku water na this country. God give we sun. And then another field the boku. The cheapest energy today na Bumbuna 3 cents. We buy car power 25 cents. Bumbuna na 3 cents. We buy from Cote d'Ivoire 12 cents.
So, Thomas, with the potential with Dr. Kande Yumkela, like any other Sierra Leonean or other experts them in electricity, don't already know say Salon get in terms of wind, in terms of sun, and other avenues for tap into for giving electricity. Yet we're still struggling with electricity supply, or Sierra Leoneans still struggling for get access to electricity. Then it begin to left the doubt as to how much we don't continue for spend and how much we will continue for spend in terms of buying from other people, other sources instead of having our own.
I think first of all we have to note that electricity is not a cheap thing. Electricity is very expensive. So as people, if we expect electricity, we need for able for purchase. But at the same time, I think government not spent hugely on makeshift processes or emergency processes for get electricity for we. Where I think say that's very very terrible. If you check the money, it almost they reached $1 billion, or if not, it don't pass $1 billion from 2007 to where we are now on getting electricity for the people of Sierra Leone. Looking at Sierra Leone, we are very close. We get a river, we not the dry. We get the Ukel River, we not the dry. We able for supply with electricity, or give you water. We get sources of energy. We get the solars. We get a very good sun at this point. A solar plant will give you some resources. Recently, we saw government sign a document, an agreement with a United States company, where for giving gas energy. So the potential for getting energy, it's all about government being genuine, bringing serious power providers then provide for weak power. And if possible, in some countries, they do zoning. When they do zoning of them area, we are in one company, then will say, okay, you take from Lomley to Congo Cross. So I know that if I want electricity, I go to that company. And tell another company, you take from Congo Cross to Kisi Road. Then from Kisi Road, another company take them to Calabato. So they do zoning all over the world. Most countries they don't develop in terms of electricity, do zoning and get several companies. For example, if you go to the US, you get one area gets about 5-6 companies where they give electricity. It's all about choice. Like mobile company now, we get multiple mobile companies. We be able to give you internet. So it's all about the choice of the individual for choose. Yeah, no, I disconnect from this company, I go connect to that company. So that is the thing. But when you look at the electricity infrastructure in this country, it's also very terrible. The distribution lines are poor, supply lines are very, very poor, and so there are a lot of things government needs to do. A lot of things, and you can't do those things without actually invest a lot of money.
All right, Dixon. Thomas, thank you very much for your time we spent with me this afternoon. Shortly, we will talk to the Director of Strategic Communications in our State House, Mike Brewer, on this subject matter. But let's first listen to Sierra Leoneans on this. Having heard the news already, say we will get results to load shedding. Already, in fact, some communities done the weeks, some, in fact, don't they complain months without electricity. Some they go days, some hours without electricity. However, you get some communities where they're so fortunate that they get power outage. If they get power outage, maybe not just a few minutes and maybe an hour for one or two reasons. But I'll listen to Sierra Leoneans on this subject matter, having heard the news already from the Ministry of Energy, the government largely, about this potential shutdown by car powership.
Of citizens now, let's say 70% they survive through electricity, and it takes light for let some people are able to survive. Some people in Pekin they go school, now this light they have power. Even if they're not able to rectify the problem now, but let them just pay, then they're able to find solution. But for say you shut the country down, you get blackout, and then I believe so we can forget a lot of difficulties. And in fact, insecurity they increase because the bobody way we get time for go do them small work, we light day, then they become old guns, then they become armed robbers. You see, and place where dark, I believe say bad thing they happen. 40 million boku no. Maybe me and me, I not go allow my country they pay 40 million to just a ship for giving light, right? But if not so we they survive for now, let them able patch things out, let them able pay this 40 million, even if you not take we next year again, but through this year now, then we find another solution.
It will be difficult because even where the car power ship, they give lights, we still get challenges. We're not able to get
24-hour electricity, let me say for 2 weeks complete, where issue no dey arise. So I'm not going to say now if car power ship can shut down, it will tell on me greatly. Government will get challenges in terms of this electricity. Not only the car power ship, as I don't say, we get other sources where they get. Issues then they arise. That it can either happen, say, the money where they're supposed for pay, sometimes they can use part of that money there for solve other problem there. Just for long, not get constant blackout for long. So maybe they feel saying now some of the issues then down the way it can make, then they get problem for pay the car power ship. Because if you take example, the ordinary generator where you get in a house, let's assume say you dey buy, you know, like not the, you dey buy fuel every day. Every day you dey buy fuel. If you check down there inside a month, not a small money down there. I don't feel say them for allow them shut down. Them for try for resolve them. Even if they're not able to pay the 40 million at a go. But let them try come to one, they're able to pay part off. Then after some time back, they pay the balance.
The government get the money, let them pay them. Because if they not pay them, how long that blackout they go take? That's not we own issue. Because if you can't take 1-2 months, how we go there? All that blackout today we go there. Don't all man get generator. If you get generator, now stop. Well, how long? Bumbuna day. When they tell you about Bumbuna. How long we don't get from Bumbuna for? About 20 or more years. Maybe you pay a Bumbuna for let they run now at the own energy. All time the ship. So now the ship no more go there take go. We don't spend other way and means for let the energy let get and deep. They hear about other country how then they get their energy. Why we say no go do so? Implement that kind of way for let they get with energy. What would they get at 24 hours?
Well, me understanding anything at this world na agreement between, let me say, the government of Sierra Leone together with the Turkish, let me say, the car power owners. I believe there is an agreement between them. If the government not reach to the agreement where the ship be get with them, so they are the right for take that decision, they said, then for shut down. So then get out say for puts on hold on the operation. Well, now it will be a disastrous because why government no able to pay that $40 million? Would they go now EDSA? Would they go buy top up? Every day, nobody know the way they eat. If people and the way they eat use light for free, and obviously they go reach 10% or 20%. People and some of them are prepaid. Would they pay? Would they go buy? Right now, they just buy now. And now every day, and any time they see that they extend the tariff, if they come up. Trade during in those days, let me say, how they born now, not so. The difference they a lot. Now 50,000 when you go buy top up 50,000. So you know you get six units safe. Wait trade 50,000, they get 20% units or 30 units. But now nothing. Why government not able to pay? It means whose side their money they go now? Where then they go buy na EDSA? Whose side the money they go? So there the question lies to the government. Why then they go owe demand there now? To then extend amount of money then they.
Well, if you not pay the money, then shut down the energy, then we will suffer. The entire city they suffer, then social activity they close. They will not go feel happy because the aim of the government is to serve the people, government of the people. Therefore, render services to the people according to the agreement of democracy. Well, fraud can cause that, mismanagement, because the customers they pay 24/7 they pay for service. Then they pay them the money and then they use the money according to. They then embezzle the money with some officials, some government workers there. The company get right, full right, 100% plus for sue the government in a court. Any court so far, when a legal court, because they don't make agreement, will say let them render the service, and when they render the service, they for honor the agreement. So if they don't honor the agreement, then a breach of contract. The company get right to sue them in a court. The only solution na for let them honor because they never get Bumuna now because money not there. They for honor the agreement, then we get light till they able get the Bumuna.
Remember the Regimo car power ship for can be auxiliary for let we get lights at the city. Will not be get them problem here because people are going and buy them support. But this Regimo condemn that. Then they can do proper arrangements. But since when the car power ship and where Sierra Leone and they, where this Regimo they personal, this particular government. Now you will understand say NRA they pull tax. Na EDSA. Anybody will go buy 50 leons support na EDSA. Then they pull NRA for you. So you buy money. And the money outside then they go. Now one. Then the money people then they buy this support to EDSA. This money, which then they do with sir, we make them not able to pay car power ship. Say this money goes up to $40 million just 7 years. And the lights, you know they use the lights the way how they pay for them. If they see some area there, they grumble, say, 2 months now, we not get lights. 1 week now, we not get lights. 2 weeks, we not get lights. And the other area, they now lights they come now on and off. Like the area where they so. Hey, we lights they come inside 1 hour, then they take at 2010. Then they get at 2010. You able to use the lights where they pay for. So how the money who say the money go? 7 years, all car power ship. $40 million. Now car power ship say they not give them this money. Then they go this June. Well, Salo, it look like so we get for friend Cambodia back. Or per lamp, they load the lights back now we host them. Don't people they go buy them support, they go buy 200 Leon support. They never give reach 50 units. They never give 50 units. At the end of the day, you never reach 1 week, 2 weeks where you get lights in Dondon. They spend past 1,000 a month per lights. The money they do, the people are not able to get that this money for pay car power ship. That means that then they share out. So they said.
Alright, so these are the views of Sierra Leoneans on this issue. So the ship where they talk about in question, where Tinap na Wata, na King Tom the ship there, then call an Kappa ship, na a Turkish ship where they supply electricity of 65 megawatts. So initially, this is the ship where you see. So like I say, it is na King Tom. It is at the EGTC King Tom Power Station around the end in the ship Tinap. So they supply electricity of about 65 megawatts. Initially, they may get 50, they increase them to 65. So by 50 megawatts. Before that 50 day, they may be a little below that. So the government of Sierra Leone get some agreement with them and get some huge amount of money where they pay to them annually or certain period for supply electricity. But like you heard earlier, so they may get about 60 something $1 million where they be supposed for them pay to the government of Sierra Leone for them pay to them. But unfortunately, government of Sierra Leone well, maybe not unfortunately, fortunately, government of Sierra Leone, they pay all the full amount of money, they pay that money in tranches in certain ways. They may not pay $17 million, that was in April, as you see initially in that press release from the Ministry of Finance. So that $17 million, they minus that in 60 plus $1 million. So they tell you you're supposed to left like more than $40 million outstanding where the government of Salo owe to car power ship. So that's what has caused this now. Then they say for extend the agreement, one person wants time for be at certain point, the other person wants time for be at another point. Why don't we talk to Mike Bura, when the Director of Communications now State House, on this. Hello, Mike. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Mike, good afternoon.
Yeah, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you, sir?
I am fine.
Okay. Unfortunately, the mic not in our Southside Internet Day. I guess you are out of the city, right?
I'm not really get you loud and clear.
Okay, Mike, let's go straight to the point. Usa we get this? What's not lead me to this point? That we therefore go into this kind of stuff with car power ship between the government society and car power ship.
So, like I say, I am really sorry. I can't get you really clear. The only thing I say here is, I just want for everyone when they listen to this, Freetown is not going to be plunged into darkness. As pundits with one, government received a release from Car Power, say on Friday, if we not pay so amount, then they shut down Car Power, weighing at 55 megawatts that they supply in the city. Before prior to that, government has been negotiations, and there was some disagreement within contract signing, whether they want a 1 year or they want a long-term contract. Government, they just want a 1 year contract with Car Power. Reason being because government get long-term plan for energy independence and sovereignty. We want that said as a country get to light. We will be able to sell to people that at a cheaper rate. So those plans are going on as I talk to you. A lot of them are planned, and I don't want people believe waiting political pundits, saboteurs, critics of this government want to make you believe. As I tell you, we get existing structures that are taught. We get the CI Energy, we get King Tom, Negeta, we get Bumbuna. And not forget, say, these are the rains. So Bumbuna tide keeps coming up. At a good run, it will be almost 50 megawatts that is. So as I talk to you, Dr. Kandeyum Kelawe, the sector head of the Energy Ministry, not even they turned out. Right? And you can also remember when the Prime Minister of Senegal, Sonko, was here, one of the MOUs they would have signed was energy collaboration with Senegal. So what am I saying in a nutshell? There's a lot going on behind the scenes. It is not our wish. It is not our intention. We not sit down, hold hands. Within Car Power Center, this is not something we want or we intend for. This country, my brothers and sisters, nobody no one for their energy emergency. Car Power come at this country on an energy emergency. So they, over 13 years, they use Car Power. That is not sustainable for this country. No one wants your country to be on energy where the ship now what I did. Now like when you get king where they now where they on an oxygen. When you pull the oxygen they die. If we have to move as a country, if we have to move as a nation, we forget we your energy source. Now that they make investors in this country. So if any government, they look forward thinking that we can remember when they appointed Honorable Kane Yunkelam, they outline short, medium, and long-term plan. And everything what they do right now fits into all them short, medium, and long-term plan. So for me, I mean, I don't want my country to rely on capital forever. I want to get billion energy infrastructure.
So what's our government above? What's our government above, more or less, as alternative solution or permanent solution to partnership? Hello, Mike? Mike, are you there?
Yes.
What's our government above for get a permanent electricity generation system rather than car partnership?
Say that again.
What's our government above as alternative and or permanent solution to this seeming energy crisis?
I just explained to you, say, this was not expected. Government began negotiations with car power. We owe car power money. We they pay them small. You for also understand that the reason why we're not able to pay car power, not only internal factors, not only government public, even we the citizens of this country, but could not pay light, but put a finger meter. So government approach for make sure say this light business settled. It is not only about building infrastructure, it's also about reform. So that is why EBSA, you see a lot of reforms take place. They don't sack a lot of people, they don't replace a lot of people, they don't change a lot of people. They don't bring over 250,000 meters in a country. When a Tampa meters, when they get all over the business places and houses. These are the steps that the government did take. Because government for able to generate income or pay car power, or as for now, we're not able to generate that.
Okay, so Mike, hold on.
People that were not pay like, because EBSA not able to get enough income, because of such things the way they happen internally and externally, they are not outlined to you. So that is why everything is going at once. EBSA reform is taking place, both externally and internally. Operational activities that take place. With the rehabilitate with all structures, them, like as I talk to you, so Black Road, all the machines, them for now rehabilitate them. Now they high see they come to this country. So that people understand. Government not down in Poland. President Yo is the Minister of Energy. He cares about this country. He cares about the people of Britain. We know that we business there, na the heartbeat of Sierra Leone. So there is no way we go sit down, we follow her for she will sit into darkness.
Okay, so
I don't care what the opposition want to say.
Okay.
I don't care what the critics want to say.
Mike,
I don't care how the critics look at it.
Mike,
all I want people to
Mike, hold on. Sierra Leoneans who you could talk to, like we hearing from some of the Sierra Leoneans just now, then they pay light bill. The leakages not going to be up to more than 10% as compared to waiting EBSA, the report. So more or less Sierra Leoneans they pay for the light because now prepaid system they operate now. So more or less, why don't for suffer for the light when they pay for, they don't buy already, so probably that the meter, why not for the light?
Sierra Leoneans, we remember within the Director General of EDSA on the radio. He talk say, out of 8 out of 10 don't pay lights. Don't pay for their lights, their electricity. And we all know how expensive electricity is.
That's just an allegation, Mike.
You say what?
That could be just an allegation.
Yeah, the woman, we not the pay light. The Loma not the pay light. You not get for deny the fact. You not just get for sit down and say the problems are just internal. The problems are just EDSA. No. We not say EDSA incapacitated. We not say we also get people within EDSA who corrupt, the electricians. It stopped. So, but you also not to say citizens are not responsible for this. Every citizen for do what we call civic responsibility. If you want light, you for pay for it. If you know the pay for it, think that you meter, you know the read, you know the register, EDSA self not get the tech infrastructure for notice all in a day. It is going to be a problem for the revenue.
But other sources we get, Mike, they indicate say. But Mike, other sources we get, they indicate say, government institutions or government offices are the biggest debtors to EDSA.
I totally agree. Say there are government institutions who don't pay, so these are the issues. But all of the other things, that's why I told you, it's both internal and external. So who are the government? Now me and you are government. So it's not only government institutions. I know where we discuss national security issue, because electricity is a national security issue. We look at it only from a government perspective. Even we citizens, we have a responsibility. We do.
Okay. So the other parties, the other suggestion some other people don't come up with, what if government, in fact that has been suggested by World Bank, IMF, say government need for block them leakage all the size something, and the money they're not supposed to go, but money they go there.
And that is what, and my brother, and that is what government is doing. That is why I explained to you the EDSA reforms.
Okay.
It starts with the human resource reforms.
What if we reduce some of the government institutions where they receive? What if we reduce?
I also told you about the operational reforms. They don't bring meters them. They don't begin bring systems in place when a high-tech systems them for notice all the malpractices there. All that in there, my brother, it has to take time.
Okay, so Mike, if you are agreeing, and in fact it's the facts now that government institutions are arguably they are among the biggest debtors to EDSA, then it means though that governments owe the highest debts to EDSA, and meaning, however, also that government supposed to by now don't reduce the number of institutions where they receive subvention from the Consolidated Revenue Fund, and use some of that money that they for support EDSA. For let EDSA able for pay the money that they to the IPP, then they like Kappa-ship, for example. And for example, President cut down on the number of travels. Then use that money then they for spend per EDSA, let EDSA pay them debts and then for pay to Kappa-ship or Transco CLSG.
You they come in really muffled. I know they get exactly, but if I can pick one of the things that we say. You they try to emphasize government institutions not paying for electricity and what we are doing as a government about that. I don't want to go over and over about this. The problem that EDSA, the electricity problem, is systematic. It is not a one-phase thing. I don't explain to you, say both internal and external factors are responsible for
No, that's not the point, Mike. Mike, carefully listen.
It has to do with inefficiency.
Okay.
It has to do with government institutions not paying for light. It has to do with citizens' responsibilities also. The one that where they fix transformer, the one that where they pay light bill, the one that where they finger meter. All these now what? Now collective problems them where they affect we as a country. I know the kind of supports the government. A lot of government institutions don't pay. That is not a secret. They don't make it very clear.
So if that's not the case, why not reduce? So if that's not the case, why not reduce the government institutions?
Because we owe them.
So if that's not the case, why not reduce the government institutions?
Generate enough money for pay them on time.
Okay, we seem for the struggle connecting with Mike wherever he day. We seem for the misunderstand myself in terms of the responses and timing. Anyways, thank you very much, Mike Bura, for your time.
I don't get you very clear. You coming very muffled.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time, Mike. Mike Brewer, the Director of Communications at State House, they respond to some of the few points where basically, like any other Sierra Leoneans, go they ask or one for the ask. So maybe we'll find some other time for respond to some of these questions. Like if government institutions are the biggest debtors to EDSA, or part of the biggest debtors to EDSA, why not reduce some of the institution and use the money where they go to the institution and government use them for pay the debts and we then owe to car power ship like any other independent power producer. Because Sierra Leoneans, they say, then they pay for the light. Because now prepaid system. Obviously, if you not pay for your light, you need to get electricity. So why you forget light if you don't buy top up for your meter and you don't get the electricity? So meaning somebody somewhere, they deprive them. And that could only be those institutions where perhaps we offend them for clarify those areas with either Mike or some other authorities of the state. But however, let's move on with the rest of the show. Now we move to the second half of the show. Let me start with sports updates with some of the latest in international and local. But I'm sure today, with sports reporter Mohamed Kollia, focus more on the things really happen within the local sporting industry.
Inside this edition of the Today Show Sports Update, Islamic community inside Freetown witnessed one historic moment as Central Mosque clinched the victory inside the first ever Islamic Sports Association final. The event was sponsored by the Say No to Drug and Barry Help Foundation, combine sports with social impact, promoting unity, youth engagement, and the fight against drug abuse. The head of media for the Say No to Drug and Barry Help Foundation, Barry Alpha Barry, say they want to eliminate drug through sports sensitization.
Well, the Islamic Youth Organization, they organize this gala before this pre-day, and the meets we, because as usual, Say No to Drugs, we stretch we are all over because we believe say any side youth man then they now them not the victim of this particular drugs we the threats in the nation. And football, now the youth they engage in football. So the people they approach we without wasting any time. We decide for come on board, forgive them, we sponsor morally and with logistics and finance. Not only this, as long as you get for do with the campaign against drugs, because the role of the Say No to Drugs campaign team, the initiative come up from two people. When I mean people na Kutoro and they, but anytime when they come around, the youths then they meet them, ask them for money. But same time when they come, then see all the youths man and they sleep. So then decide instead of giving them that money now, let them try for guide them and come up with this initiative. Come up with the initiative 3 years back, then see and say no. This if for continue, and we see say the campaign they work because the way how them they take these drugs, especially the kush, they don't the limit. So decide for continue. They continue not to hear no more. We don't do them here, we don't do them all over, and not to only football. We don't extend them to basketball and other sports. We what we look for achieve we objective now for make sure that we get a youth a drugs free youth, a youth where no go engage in drugs, these drugs no go able overcome the youth man there at the end of the day. We dey aim for see that with the message we able for meet each and every youth man, let them know say drugs are harmful to health, and if the youth then damage today, we all know say the youth na the backbone of the society. The youth damage today, this country no get a future. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we get the message to all the youth. At the end of the day, if we not able to stop them also, but at least we minimize them. The youth them work engage them. They say we say them this ground tool, things not fine for them when. One let them know say that not to the answer. Kush and other drugs not to the answer to them problem. Let them pull and pana. It go only succeed for destroy them now, destroy them future. So with the appeal to the youth them, if possibility for drugs business, deny them. If he persists, deny them. Change the topic. If he persists, avoid them. Not to even ignore, avoid them.
The chief organizer for the competition, Alongside Kaba, say the competition are for bring the youth them together and stay away from the goal.
Today at the climax, we're at the final. We say yes. We pray for a good weather and a good match where it will come out fine, and also want to appreciate the coming of Slick TV for can cover this match here. So let God bless all the members and the workers. God make it easy for the all and them place and the work. Now, as we all know, say Kush na one of the three they destroy youth them. Because some of we live in a Bay, Kutowood, Kinton, but some of we not going to them things in there. So we see how young one way some of the whole big part of us say we don't 50 years safe. Then they believe. Some man go visit us and lie with the lie. But they see some people also say they 21, 22. But if you see in condition right now, they believe. They see the only clean salon, but they're not clean. But they say they clean salon. I want clean salon. The you know even clean itself. So they try to kick this push for help because it's not easy for fights against. But the campaign, if they go small, no say at least we go pull on. We don't know do one thing because it's not easy for fed. We all know. We all know it's not easy for fed. The one that the developing nation themselves for let them fed drugs is not easy, but. We go try go to Yobu. We go commodity. Now that's the threat for achieve. At least, low get 6-70%. We go come up at this year. This is the first edition, and we pray that it will continue every year now. And we call on members them. We want members them for Germany for this organization here so. For them we push out more go so. Especially where we get the media coverage. We so happy about this because this will send them far for we than how we expect ourselves. So now that's one first for achieve. Let's continue every year. Let's get this kind of gathering here. So sponsors then the main sponsors of this competition are Mr. Ivorian Silas, Abubakar Silawere, England, and Mr. Bobo Barry of Barry Health Foundation. And don't push you through. Say this even in this final, I will let them pay. They say no nothing. Now the first edition it will be free. All things will be free. So now how then start and so don't end up back with the help. When the winner he gets something actually. He get a trophy, he get a package, he get post. He get post. The runners up back he get post back. So we get half medal for the best player. Let's go square. We get certificate we get for award back to people and back. We done the all now through the help of Ivorian Silla and Bobo Barry. For there we say no to drugs and say no to kush as this it destroy the youth them. Because you don't know sometimes tomorrow that people they neglect and get for help you tomorrow. So they pray, they ask everybody not come on board for not push this year so out of this country also.
The final will end 3-1 in favor of Central Mosque with all goals from Mohamed Hassan Kadri, the top goal scorer. We say na hard work and commitment.
Not so magic. I just hard work and training. I know one of the magic. If you know work hard at training, definitely you not going to perform. You understand? So the only magic here is at training. It's a blessing, you understand? And we don't pray every day we pray for this follow wins trophy, you understand? So it's a blessing. The message what they send today is that let them continue for the do more and let God bless them for what they do so. Let God provide for more and more and more for them.
Still inside football, the streets of Freetown be full up with jubilation as hundreds of fans they turn out for celebrate the Sierra Leone women's national team as they return home as champions of the West Africa Football Union Wafu A Women's Cup 2025. The team parade inside open van through the capital following the historic win inside the regional tournament. After he received the delegation, the executive director for the National Sport Authority, Dr. Emmanuel Safa Abdullahi, like any other sport administrator, be very happy and therefore pledge government's continued support to the female team through the league.
Me, I'm glad today for them I have so very much because I don't know how I feel we gallant ladies them win this trophy. I say this because on behalf of the government, and I think the minister, the deputy minister, will talk about this. We own idea now for create jobs and employment for young people. This kind of thing we want to do, they encourage the government, they encourage the President Julius Maada Bio, for invest more in sports and particularly football. When I all know say, and the Vice President talk and say, we don't provide a lot of support to the female Premier League. In fact, just now, one or two of the female Premier League organizers, they come to me, they say, oh money, oh money, oh money. I say the money they come. In fact, we're now glad he said the money they come. But I want it to come for more of the Premier League all they organize. I want to make it clear, say, this success, it started many years ago through the SLFA. Last year we get an excellent, the year before last we get an excellent Premier League but through the Asma James board. Last year we get another good Premier League again from the Mami and the team. And this year we don't get another Premier League. The government believes say this league will play again and again, and I think if when I don't listen to Mohamed Ben Zimbabwe, he can talk and tell I say, but he's not a teacher. When you play the league, player that they develop, the standard they go up, will be able to compete internationally. If we're not in the played league week in, week out, we're not going to be able to play under. And I'm going to go to 10 knots. Matter, remember that 10 knots? Now go to 10 knots. But now we need to take 10 knots because we believe, say, we for support leagues. Last year, when we come, we did 2.8 billion All Lions to the Premier League board. We're not 2.8 million New Lions. This year, we don't allocate 3 billion Old Lions, we're not 3 million New Lions with a Fed follow issue down there for just the female Premier League. Every year, as we go, we hope say it will go up because waiting with the hope is that this money, the clubs then go use them for pay salaries of the players then. And the players then go be paid, we go make sure say them play the league properly. The same way, they play the male Premier League. This year we give them 5 billion Old Lions, 5 million New Lions. Last year we give them 3.5. Every year we go up. Because President Bio, in your message, now that young people forget something for do. Young people are not for engage in drugs. Young people are not for engage in thief. Young ladies are not for engage in prostitution. Therefore engage in things where they benefit them. Now that make where they put money into sports. When I say this, I want to say two things. One, it look like say I just asked the Vice President. It look like say we got to pay attention to the woman there because now then they win something for we now. Also, listen, I tell you something. Last month the cricket female team go win the African cricket competition at Botswana. This month when I don't win, the Wafu is on A. I don't remember when last the man then win something for you. 1993, 1995. You see? So we need for rekindle, we need for re-strategize for support more women's sport. But I will tell you when I say, look, sports, the government very keen, President Bio very concerned about sport. Every team we left Sierra Leone, we go overseas, now government the supporter. Whether na football, na volleyball, apart from cricket, because them we don't do on their own. Whether na basketball, now we the support them. Whether na cycling, and the government don't put billions of leons into sport. The president, in agenda now for create jobs for young people, and we glad that the result. You know, sometimes they were going to Ministry of Finance, say until you come for money, what not the return for money? Now we need for sure and say this now the return for money. Not so we for show them say look the return for money. Then nobody ask me again what's in the return for money. So me very excited today because nobody know they ask me wetin I return from money again.
Now all this we get for you inside this edition of the Today Show Sport Update on Slick TV channel 37 with me, Mohammed Collier.
All right, thank you, Mohammed Collier, for the sports update. We'll now move over to the aspect where they teach you or tell you about what's in the laws of Salone and other laws equally, but particularly the laws of Sierra Leone, and a continuation of the administration of justice with Charlie Israel Williams we will take in this edition of the Today Show.
But then when you come down to subsection 3, the Constitution, that is section 135, it make it clear say anybody will go be qualified, or let's put it this, let's not say anybody, let's say any justice or judge will go qualify for be appointed for serve as justice of the Supreme Court, justice of Court of Appeal, or a judge or justice of the High Court, forget certain qualification. And their appointment, they are also now the president they make them. But he also they get advice from the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. And so if a justice is to be appointed to serve as justice of the Supreme Court, he forget what we can call not less than 20 years standing. Meaning, if I don't practice law as a legal practitioner for not less than 20 years. Now, this requirement is not negotiable at all. Not a thing where then they say, oh, well, he just left 1 year or he left 2 years, solo manage. No. It has to be strictly followed. So if a justice is to be appointed to serve as a justice of the Supreme Court, if I don't practice law for not less than 20 years. And then for a justice of the Court of Appeal, if I don't practice law for not less than 15 years. And for a judge of the High Court, if I don't practice law for not less than 10 years. Now so subsection 3 of section 135 say. You go on for the wonder, say, why time limit day as to regarding the qualification of a justice or a judge for take up that office? Now, because in the practice of law, experience counts a lot. Experience. The more you practice law, the better position you stand for able for deliver and administer justice. So now that make in this profession, in the legal profession, time very important, which we can call standing. So if you don't practice law for not less than 20 years, it means you don't gather a lot of experience where go make you able for deliver justice and administer justice. So there is another provision, because we don't talk about Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, and now the High Court of Sierra Leone. So you go on for ask, what about the Magistrate Court? The Magistrate Court, Section 141, is very clear that when it comes to the appointment of judicial and legal officers, we now under the magistrates then fall, it say now the Chief Justice now in they do this appointment, but if they do so with the support of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, but also with the blessing Laputandawiri of the president. Is it that the office of judicial and legal officers not important? No, it's very important, but not to all thing president go do. So that administrative aspect of appointing judicial and legal officers, the Chief Justice, where president to appoint, where na person, na judge, justice, where also qualified for be a justice of the Supreme Court. Now he gets the onus now for appoint judicial and legal officers. So, who are na then judicial and legal officers there?
Thank you, Charlie Ezekiel Williams, for taking us through the administration of the administration of justice. That's a continuation of waiting a bit on start. So just stay tuned. Then you continue for learn from the lawyers where they actually contribute for giving some knowledge in terms of what the law say, like a number of other areas. Health, we will come later in the show. And also coming up later in the show, the APC MPs, well, members of parliament of the All People's Congress, they don't suspend their participation from parliamentary activities. The official statement come out this afternoon. We will discuss that and bring you up to speed with within the press or press statement say. And also, Kappa-ship officially responds to the issue of the notice we get for do with cutting power supply to Freetown, effective June 12. We'll bring you up to speed also with that shortly later in the headline review segment. But first, though, we travel updates for you. This is a travel update for Wednesday because you need the information where for help you forget a smooth travel and early preparations as well. So let's start with 1:30 a.m. Royal Air Maroc, flight 563/4. It go left Freetown International Airport, Nalunge, and reach Casablanca, Morocco at 4:40 a.m. Then at 4:40 in the morning, it go finally reach at 5:40 in the morning. At 5 o'clock in the morning, Askai Airlines flight KP023 go left Banjul, the Gambia, stop in Freetown at 5 after 8 in the morning. Accra, and finally reach Lome, Togo at 8:45 in the morning. At 1 p.m., Askai Airlines flight KP042 will take off from Lome, Togo, stop in Freetown International Airport at 3:55 in the afternoon. It will reach Banjul, the Gambia at 4:35 in the afternoon. Also at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Askai Airlines flight KP040 will left Lome, Togo, and head to Banjul, the Gambia. Go head to Accra and then to Freetown. At 1:30 p.m., Brussels Airlines flight SN243 go take off from Freetown International Airport, Alunge, make stop na Monrovia, Liberia, and land na Brussels at 7:55 in the evening. At 2:30 in the afternoon, Kenya Airways flight KQ510/11 go left Nairobi, Kenya, stop na Accra, Ghana at 5:30 p.m. Then at 5:30 in the evening. And at 4 p.m., Air Senegal flight HC213/4 go left Dakar, Senegal, it reach Banjul, the Gambia at 6:55 in the evening and continue to Freetown International Airport at 7:50 in the evening. Finally, at 8 p.m., Air Peace flight P47760/1 go left Freetown International Airport, Alunge, for go Lagos, Nigeria. It will reach at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. that's in the evening, Annette, and with in final arrival at 11:40 p.m. That night travel update for Wednesday. And now let me go give you some health advice because you need this as well for guide the ways and manner in which you live your life. Today, let me talk about some health aspect we get for do with how truly we help for save lives and protect ourselves, but particularly from HIV and AIDS. Paulina Bendu Samba, get more.
Hello and welcome to Today Health Tips. This na one quick health talk for help we protect ourselves from HIV. HIV no get face, but we all get power for protect ourselves. So, let we talk about this. 1. Use condom all time if you're not a person where they get sex with different partners them. This first tip here, so when I follow use condom all time where you get sex, whether a man or woman, it's fine because condom they protect you from HIV and other sick them. Always get condom on you and learn for the use them the right way. Tip 2. Know your status and your partner in status back. Go take HIV test. It's easy, it's private, and it go help you for know how you dey. Tell your partner let himself take test back. If una two know una status, una go sabi how for protect una self better one. 3. Use PrEP or PEP if you need them. If you dey feel like say you dey at risk, ask doctor for PrEP. This na pill we go take every day for prevent yourself from HIV. If something happen like condom burst or rape, go ask for PrEP within 3 days when at 72 hours. It go stop the virus before it enter your blood. 4. No share needle. If you dey inject drug or even share needle, always use clean or new needle. The same needle will pass HIV from one person to another. 5. If you get any other sick like gonorrhea or syphilis, it will make HIV easy for enter your body. So, if you dey feel say something not fine, go check yourself quick and take treatment. 6. Talk openly, no shame. Talk about HIV with people where they close to you. Educate yourself. HIV no dey show na face, so let we not shame for talk. If you talk about it go help for save your life because silence no go help. 7. HIV no mean say life done. HIV not deadly like trade. If person gets HIV and he take medicine them well, it go live long and get healthy life, just like anybody else. But that's not mean say you for take risk or go dey make careless, so prevention still better pass cure. So take care of yourself always.
Hey, Paulina. Old word. I dey take the advice. Thank you for the health tips and the health advice in that message there. Simple, straightforward. And so even a celibate, remember, you either go baby here or make you here and never use sharps. You have to be mindful the use of those sharps or metal instruments. And now I'll go to some of the things where actually they form the news, and that's called the headlines. Alhaji James Kamaramane, I want to give him an Alhaji title. Unfortunately, he's not Alhaji. Neither should it be Reverend. Good afternoon, James.
Patrick, and good afternoon, viewers. Yes. Thank you. So, welcome to the headline review. So, the first thing we'll talk about now, the leader of the opposition, Parliament, Honorable Abdul Kago, may write the Speaker of Parliament. They state some of the reasons we make they decide for suspend the activities in Parliament as the main opposition party. If you look at the press release, they get reasons that way they state, Patrick. If you look at the first paragraph, it says on behalf of the opposition in Parliament of Sierra Leone, I hereby announce the immediate suspension of our participation in all parliamentary sitting and committee activities. This decision follows our letter to the Honorable Speaker in which we raise serious concern about the continued role of the Clerk of Parliament, who is currently contesting for an executive position within his political party. This is one problem where we make them write the letter.
They say them believe say then they go undermine the neutrality and integrity of the clerk in office, where then they expect say for be strictly non-partisan. Non-partisan means enough for a particular party affiliation, party symbol, party this, party that. Non-partisan in its service to Parliament, when at the legislative body of the nation. So that now more or less within they say in this regard.
Yes.
But legally, constitutionally, you tend for think otherwise.
Yes, you tend for think otherwise.
And it gets a broad interpretation and analysis and discussion where it already starts to germinate somewhere.
Yes, and this call for constitutional interpretation, because one go for question whether the office of the Clerk of Parliament, whether a public office, and the Constitution becomes very clear that a public office, once they get they receive a monument from the government,
they receive copper, they receive salary or some allowances.
Yeah, you consider as a public office. So
well, they don't even put allowances; it's salary.
Salary.
Yes.
And so when you look at the Constitution, in section 71 and 70, he defined waiting or udat the public servant them, and udat that they receive a monument of salary from government. But when you watch the office of the Clerk of Parliament, no mention. But I'm a journalist.
But again, when it comes to electoral matters.
Yeah.
And say if you don't resign your office, if you go in for another public office, if you don't resign your particularly elective position, if you don't resign your office like a year, 12 months, 12 months
yes, 12 months
before you contest for the new position. But you tend to ask the question whether that applicable in this instance.
That's the question.
Because the Honorable Parantarwali, where we don't serve as member of Parliament for one term under the SLPP. But that was during the Ernest Bai Koroma regime, however. We don't become Clerk of Parliament. This is arguably the second time?
Second time.
The second time under the under the Julius Maada Bio administration. Yeah. So, in position where they go for, Secretary General under the Union Party, the Sierra Leone People's Party, where we don't serve as member of Parliament under. So, how that gets for do with, we know the SLPP is a constitutional, a national institution.
Yeah, sure.
And eventually, Jole Kweden in governance right now, any political party where they establish where PPRC give license for operate, automatically one day will become might become an institution will go form a government. So meaning every political party in a national institution.
Yes,
so a national institution like the SLPP, more or less, supposed for form part of a national office. But what's not the limitations of the law? However, we know to lawyers, we know to even the lawyers self no get the authority for interpret that one day, now only the Supreme Court could get for interpret that one day. So this could be a long ride into some constitutional interpretation. Perhaps we will end up for see this, in fact, na Supreme Court for interpretation. Otherwise, this gets some vague and open interpretations where everybody entitled to your own opinion.
Anybody can give your opinion.
Yes.
And whether you're right or wrong, there will be no right or wrong except the Supreme Court to give the final advice.
It has been precedent because Parliament, well, the courts, more or less the judiciary, the courts system, kind of gets some similar ways in the modus of operandi, the way a manner where they operate with the court system, and get some similarities, but with some very vast distinctions, however. Then they operate by precedents. There are certain precedents where certain people will be done set before, that they use that day for move on with certain rules when they adopt. So there have been precedents before Parliament that there has hardly been a clerk who don't become a partisan person. With an active executive member of a political party.
And so we say so don't always
Because the clerk more or less an arbiter between the administrative head of the House of Legislators.
They serve between the Speaker of the Parliament and
Yes.
the parliamentarian.
Yes.
So you serve as an arbiter.
As an arbiter of-
Salon a place where we always see things that happen anyway. So whether a good precedent or a bad one, we wait for see which will be the end of
But again, the suspension of the APC MPs, perhaps, well, then we don't see them, because they give like 2 weeks ultimatum?
Yes, 2 weeks. Now, not to Dengi, now the Speaker of Parliament may promise them that in a week time,
Yes.
they go handle
Then
it.
waits for like 1 week
They wait
additional.
for 2 weeks and then nothing and nothing, so then decide for take this kind of decision. But however, we could go to another topic of discussion. Yesterday we see that ETSA,
Ministry of Energy.
Ministry of Energy,
Yes.
may do a release yesterday and inform the public that they will be some power outage or power cuts or light not will get for day for some period of time due to some reasons there. And so with them reasons then they, and that don't make a public row around, people that they begin to say we don't forget continuous blackout tomorrow, we don't foresee, we're not looking at the reason this
And some man be don't already begin blame Kappa ship. Say then they are not reasonable.
They are not reasonable.
Why therefore take this kind of decision and
So
X,
now,
Y, Z?
So the PR wing of the Kappa ship self don't decide for reply to waiting government may say yesterday.
For clarify more or less those
Clarify
doubts,
some.
those
So
naysaying.
you see, I will just read just 1 or 2 paragraphs of the reasons which make them feel say the need for shutdown. The 3rd paragraph here, it say, unfortunately, it say car power ship has not been paid its capacity fee for the power ship for more than 2 years and has not received payment for the supply of fuel for the last 6 months. Car power ship has accommodated the needs of Sierra Leone more than any company could, but can no longer sustain finance and energy needs without payment intervention.
They say even now, Kappa ship does not want to cut electricity. They say they don't want to cut electricity.
Critical infrastructure such as hospitals, schools, water pumps, but instead it is reducing the generation from 50 megawatt to 6 megawatt.
From 50 to just 6.
To the most critical supplied it may need.
Yes, so that now more or less like waiting the Ministry of Energy been saying yesterday in the press release, and more or less for like utility services, essential services like hospitals, because they need electricity. However, you get some of the hospitals where already powered by solar. You go Kiamaru, for example, Kiamaru Government Hospital, like a few other government hospitals around, they are powered by solar. So whether or not car power ships supply the electricity, but there are certain aspects of the operations that would need supply from the national grid. So Kappa ship supplying like 50 megawatts. This is supposed to be coming from Bumbuna at peak.
Yeah. So why they come out from Kappa ship?
So anyway, this is not the peak of the rains. However, government will tell you say, "Lord, wait till the peak of the rains." But however, we there is some climate analysts and they say, "Lord, we not expect the kind of rainfall pattern we use for them to get, or where people they feel say will forget." As compared to before, because of the climate change situation where we already faced with. So this is going to be a long drama ride.
A long drama. Now,
Yes.
Kappa ship is claiming that they have not been paid for over 2 years.
2 years.
And even 6 months, they not get them fear.
And a business that they run.
They run business.
Yes.
And now I want to go on for ask all the money consumers that they pay to EDSA, So it's a question for ask.
Interesting aspect of this press survey Kappa put out just this afternoon. Let's go to this background and go through a line by line of the analysis where Kappa don't take time for explaining and clarify certain critical aspects. He said in January 2025, high delegation representatives of the government of Sierra Leone and Kappa held a series of meetings. A series, not to one, not to two. A series of meetings in Istanbul, that the commercial capital of Turkey. Turkey in the country used Kappa Komot. Meetings in Istanbul to address the growing arrears and prolonged payment delays. See, series of meetings for address the arrears and they. Now Turkey then go. Remember we Chief Minister David Moynihan Senghor in picture with the fly around and even go at the ship and held those discussions and engagements. And he had them say these discussions led to a mutually agreed payments plan. They say they agree on a payments plan endorsed by the Minister of Finance, Chairman of Energy Sector, then Dr. Kande Yumkela, and Edsa Digit. That's the man we just fired just a few weeks ago. Yes, notably this plan did not fully cover the existing debt. The existing debts.
At the time.
Yes, at the time. At the time. A reflection of Kappa Ship's goodwill on an ongoing commitment to sustaining power generation despite increasing financial pressure. So they not saying a business they do, however, but they not say the money they don't accrue, you know, well for sustain. But let them do their own CSR or one or two things they wait for keep the Sierra Leoneans going. Unfortunately, the payment schedule was not met from the outset. On 25 February 2025, then I just earlier this year, the second month of this year, we issued a payment request for the January installment, which was due by the end of the previous month. In an effort to engage constructively, our commercial team visited Sierra Leone, where Chief Minister David Senghor and other people go visit the ship and go there, visited Sierra Leone in early 2025 to follow up directly, and we appreciated the assurances made by the same high-ranked government representatives that the plan would be followed moving forward. And then continue to the other paragraph and say, despite these assurances, delays continued, prompting us to send further written reminders on 21, 20, and 24 April 2025, that are just 2 months ago. In communications, we reiterated the operational risks caused by delayed payments. Of course, you do business, then somebody owe you debt. Whether that money we don't trust the person. Now that money more or less you use as your operational cost. It crumble your business.
How do they expect you for making business grow?
You more or less you are operating like a charity organization. It crumble your business. So they say these delay payments, they don't remind the government of Sierra Leone of the risk that we involved in all of this. They say we fully understand the financial challenges. In all of this situation, they know Sierra Leone they go through financial challenges. But however, we as a country, this has come up with IMF and World Bank. These financial challenges, we have not been able to sort them out ourselves. Yet we continue to create new offices, employing more people, pay them bump money them as salaries. And EDSA, they say, EDSA at some point, remember, they don't say, government institutions, they are among the highest debtors to them.
Yes, that's what they said here, sir.
Sierra Leoneans now, they say, we are paying because our prepaid system, if we don't buy it top up, we need to get light.
Sure.
So why we top up, we need to get light? Rather, government institutions, we are among the highest debtors, when are they supposed for foot this bill? Why we not cut down on their institution and they use the money for pay EDSA and let EDSA rather now go pay Kappa Ship. So all of this, so now the Kappa Ship themselves then say they acknowledge the financial challenges where the government of Sierra Leone face. And they don't consistently seek ways for cushioning the impact. They say they don't take every step for avoid the disruption where they're in service for help go cause due to all them prolonged delay so governments don't make for pay them. They don't reach out.
No longer meet our obligations.
Yes.
Particularly.
No, that business then they run out to charity.
Yeah, providers. If
they
don't get fuel, in fact, our fuel they use for.
Yes, thermal system they want. You go to Kintom, you'll be deafening because about 12 machines. 12 machines and then get up and running.
I expect them for making them work if they not get fear. They're not being paid. It's a business they are running. They left all the way talking for can do business. I accepted them.
As a result, and with much regret, we were compelled. Then forcefully, the entire way
to issue a suspension notice on 28 May 2025.
They're not
30% of the outstanding amount.
There not be any option again. So this is what has happened so far. But government, from analysis we don't get so far, or some discussions we don't get with some government officials, they are looking forward to, there's this NANT project coming up, this public-private partnership at the east end of Freetown, but that is not ready yet. So the reason government be try for engage car partnership for get some short-term contracts, rather than long-term contracts, waste on 10 and day, by the time when NANT go come, that long-term contract they go be useless or go make very little use to them. However, so they needed a short-term contract where by the time when NANT go start operations, then they're going for just fitting within that. But you can't go with such agreement with this outstanding over 2 years.
Over 2 years, no.
No, bad business. So that's what car partnership, they say more or less.
The issues in Boku.
Yes. So now they don't eventually say by midnight of 12th June, when are like 2 days from now.
Yes, we would expect blackout. So we'll sleep and wake blackout.
Yes.
That's so
how long that will go for continue?
How long that will go for people, we don't know. And so that's that's the shortest way for summarize the issue.
So even in the rain, it's a place terribly hot.
Yes.
So we have to continue for the inside hot.
We're within a dark.
Yes, and dark.
Okay. So we also move to another issue. PRA, Petroleum and Regulatory Agency. Citizens expect that they don't pull a press release now for say fuel prices for don't reduce the country.
So
because a few fuel stations like Lyoko and Zala don't reduce their own fuel prices because the world market price don't reduce, and so people are still questioning why PRA still not reduce.
Look at it. Zala already don't put them already in there.
Zala they have on the fact.
Yes, 25 leons.
25 to 23.
25 leons to dots for gasoline. 23 leons for diesel. And Lyonko as well, they sell at almost same rate. Yet you get majority of the other pump stations across the country where till date they sell 27.7 leons per liter. Where you go, they need you to change. If you go 28 leons, if you go buy one, so you more or less where they go for go buy one, they get for losses. So this is the problem. And say the higher the supply, the lower the price. The supply, the world market for petroleum products don't increase. Just recently, just few months down the line, OPEC they announced say then they increase production. So when they announce already increase in production, they on right now. So they expect say the prices of petroleum products supposed to come down now. They're like in other countries across the world. And so alone a country where people so quick for increased price. Now in fact that they determine the increase.
Quick for increase and for go put them down back. That's a serious problem. You come to this way, you hardly see prices go up, and for making it come down, it becomes a problem.
And say the law of gravity, they work in a salon. Say whatever goes up must come down.
Not for me because it's a bad one. It's a bad one, and PRA is a very reputable institution, a salon, and they are already one Balua Kuma. We believe for saying a very reputable person. We got huge respect. The country, so we expect say you could do this.
But again, on the flip side, then they more or less they seek the interest of both the people and the entities, the business entities. But who is in the majority here? The people, right? The
people, yes.
The people are in the majority. The business entities, of course, then they for make profits. We not say most of them go down buy some of them products, and we don't now all stock. Some of them go to sell, or some of them go claim say then they sell, because that's usually the excuse. Say that old stock, so we can't sell old stock on a new price.
Yeah, sure.
So let me get new stock on a new price. That will be the excuse more or less. And on a balance, maybe now Dandy you want for series we make PIA go say, don't allow them small for so let them sell the old stock at the old price. Let them done.
The old stock done, maybe the new stock.
But how long? Who that gonna know that who's one old stock? Who's one old stock? Who's one a new stock?
Yes.
But in other situations previously, when they get old stock, but price increase in the global market, they don't get new stock.
No.
Then they sell the new price at the old stock. Now it's a different case altogether. And PIO want to strike the balance, wanting to seek the interest of the business people because of profits and can make, and trying to balance as well, seeking the interest of the people. But here now, it's a problem. It has become a problem now. Seeking more of the interest of the business person than the people.
We expect them to seek the interest of the people.
Who are in the majority.
We are in the majority. We go to a very last sad news we get. But this one on NPPA, we issue a press release.
And we seem to get them mixed up. That NPPA is protected procurement authority.
Yeah, procurement authority. You get the National Protection Area Authority.
Yeah, waiting for protect wildlife, forests, wetlands.
It's NPAE.
Yes.
NPAE, not NPPA. Actually, they say the National Protected Area Authority urgently informed the public that on the 8th of June 2025, at approximately 10:15 a.m., a team of unauthorized staff members from the Takogama Chimpanzee Sanctuary entered the headquarters of the Otomo Kelimi National Park without the prior knowledge and permission of the authority. Unfortunately, a team member went swimming in the Kaba River and has been reported missing. The authority is closely and actively working with the Sierra Leone Police and the Kamakui Police Division, the personnel of the Sierra Leone Army, and the local and community stakeholders to investigate the matter and search for the missing person. We are committed to keeping you informed as the investigation progresses.
And that person that is reported missing is this man. You remember this young man, Sidiki Bayo? Sidiki Bayo has been an active wildlife conservationist. We don't talk to you on a number of occasions. In fact, before they left for their rescue, they were on a rescue mission, they were on a rescue mission at the provinces of the apes. So me and we talk, I go na Babu College to them, I meet them, me and to talk, was it on a Monday last week? Just about a week ago. So we exchange some good vibes before they left. So we promised to have engagement on their return. Only Fole get news over the weekend, precisely on Sunday, that he went swimming and he got drowned. So then the NPAA then press release, if you look at the press release, it will say unauthorized personnel from Takogama. So you begin to ask a question, is Takogama operating illegally in Sierra Leone? This is an institution that was established by the Ministry of Tourism.
MOU with them? They not sign MOU with them?
Well, it depends on what they mean by unauthorized. Unauthorized. Because Takogama is a government entity established by the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs. And the role now for protect wildlife, predominantly and precisely the chimps, the apes. So this is what they do. And here on the side of Takogama, they say they feel sorry for sharing this heartbreaking news. So this is the lavish on Sidiki Bayo about being a rising star within the team, get idea, full of energy, full of passion for take Takogama to the next level. And say sudden passing, like very big loss, and then still a struggle for him to understand, say indeed. It all lost.
Yeah, but when you look at Kaba River, I don't know if you know.
Yes.
You know Kaba River.
That's after Kamakwe going to
killing me.
Yes.
Yes, I don't go there personally. Now a place where I don't feel say is swimming friendly, in fact, because the water, in fact, when you see yourself, you even discourage for wayside.
But like you say, then water traditionally they don't consider water they get devil. I say where the devil they call, where the devil they call, you know, for prevent yourself from.
Prevent you. And the fact that Kaba ferry they use.
Yes. Now current river.
Yes, current.
Now running river, in fact a big river.
For that's somebody of kind, knowledgeable man, a very healthy man. For let's say go swim inside that river.
It is possible. I don't embark on similar excursions, operations where you get people where they go on operations, then they go into rivers. For example, you get the Pampana River. You get the River Okel. These are also running rivers. You get the River Sewa. You get the River Moa. These are also current rivers, and some of them are very big as well. Some of the people that we don't go on missions with, on operations with, they don't go to the river, they don't swim. Just forget to accomplish the goal we didn't go there for. But they came out alive. However, you cannot say same for everybody, for let you go into any river for go swim and come back alive. But what actually happened is still something where, according to NPAA, then say, the team of military and police personnel and local stakeholders, they investigate for yes, for no way they actually happen. But the bottom line is, Sidiki Bayo got drowned. Now, the Kaba River, that is na the Otamba Kilime Park, he go swim. According to reports, I drowned. Until date, is missing.
So we have to go to the family of Sidiki and also to the
Takogama
family. One for say sorry, one for say we accept condolence on behalf of Slick TV and the entire family of Slick. Now so go to the cut it down of the headline review for today. Tete tomorrow we'll bring another one to again, and so continue for giving urgent news where they happen around the country.
Thank you very much, James Kamaramane, for bringing you through and up to speed with the things that happen around. And now so we go take time left you inside this edition of the Today Show. We go return tomorrow with a fresh edition, a midweek edition. Stay tuned for that. Until then, thank you to the production team, the control, camera, newsroom, and the reporting teams. Thank you to you also. We don't take time for the show. Thank you to we guessed them earlier. And we'll return tomorrow with a fresh edition. Me and Patrick Salia for now.
And me and James Kamaramane.
Goodbye.